So, Darren, I really hope to learn from you that throughout the interview process, you have so many touch points with the candidates. So, the very last step when you're delivering the offer to the candidate, so are there any uh, implicit need that are better addressed in this final step? And what are the things that you've seen in the past that are hiring managers that are addressing the need too late in the process that they start talking about only in the last step, but they could have done that much earlier. So
Yeah.
that's the part I really want to learn from you.
So let me talk a little bit about, the implicit needs of a candidate, and at the end, there's so, and I'm going to kind of weave in, like one of the closing strategies to kind of help here. But, there's a lot of times when an engineer manager is trying to close a candidate, and they focus on, the two things that usually people care a lot about, but not the most two important things, like salary and maybe equity, right? Those are the two things that come up, but there's so many other things the company is paying for that you're not even getting the value for. And, when I would deliver an offer, I'd have a list of every single benefit we had, right? And I would go over and I would explain why our 401k plan was the best, why it was better than somebody else's, why they would need short-term and long-term, disability insurance. That when they have their life insurance, they can set the beneficiary. So if anything happens to them, somebody they care about will be taken care of, right? And you show value in everything. And I remember as a kid, I had an old pickup truck I was trying to sell. And my brother's girlfriend's dad he sold collectibles. And I remember he said, "How are you going to sell this truck?" And I said, "It's a truck, you sell it." It's like, "Do you want it? Yes or no?" He's like, "Well, show me how the air conditioning works." I'm like, "It's an air conditioning, just push the buttons." He's like, No. You bring value to commodities by taking the time to show them everything. You turn every dial. You push every knob. You prove to them how it works. You say, "Doesn't that air feel good?" Right? It's air conditioning, but you're bringing more value to it. And it's the same way here. When you have a lot of these things like healthcare, and you tell them you got to choose your healthcare, you go over every little detail. You don't know how many people have come to me and said they don't know what type of healthcare another company has offered them. And for a lot of people, when they take a new job, they're not the only ones who are getting in that company. Your significant other, the kids, the family, they're coming too. And the candidate has to sell it to them. So letting, the implicit needs are a lot of times the ones of people who you're not directly hiring. Will they be able to keep their doctors, right? Will they be able to still make contributions to their 401k? Do they have Roth IRAs? Like everything else that they may care about, you need to communicate. To the second part of your question, it's like the biggest mistake is just people wait too long to try and make that connection, right? And they boil it down to literally, here's the level you're coming in and here's your comp, and then that's it. And there's not this need, it's not this feeling like I want to go work for this person, right? There's a difference between I want to go work for you and I want that job. And I always want people when they come work for me to come and want to work with me, right? And not necessarily go for the job. And, I think that's where and I think a lot of engineers keep it, very formal. And I always help people open up, right? So when I'm interviewing, I tell them about my family, I tell them about my life. I get very personal right away. And that helps a lot for them to open up and they can get to know me a little better. And some people share more than others. But, I did this, I was teaching a class the other day, and as an example, we were talking about our work-life balance, or our work from home environments. And I told them about, the obvious things. I have a desk and I have a chair and I have a screen and I have a microphone. And then I talked to them about the kids and everything else. And every single person after that talked about their kids too, because I had opened it up to them. So when you open it up and you're vulnerable and you kind of let them see who you really are, they'll open up also. And then you can use all that information to help them make a good decision. Because I always say, finding a candidate, a candidate that you say no to will find a job someplace else. And they will get promoted and they will be successful and they will do very well and they'll have a good career. And it's not that they're bad and it's not that you're bad. It's just that you're not a good fit at that time. There's a lot of companies I feel like I wouldn't be a good fit for and they wouldn't be a good fit for me. And if you're lucky enough to find a company where that is a good fit, you're golden. So a big part of it is finding that fit. And I've interviewed people and I said, "What do you want to do?" And they told me, and I'm like, "I really don't have that for you. Let's just stop here. And I want to be respectful of your time, but I can't offer you what you're looking for. And they respect that. And then, you know, it's a small world and things may change, you know, and I've had a lot of people I've talked to, and a year or two later, you know, they come back. I mean, I'm coming up on my 9-year anniversary, I think, next week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, if you're there for 9 years, you know, you cycle through a lot of people, you interview a lot of people, and these people will come in and out. And a lot of them, we call them boomerangs, they actually come back. So you always want to maintain, you know, that healthy relationship with everybody.